Ahoy, Gar! Greetings, I am Tad Larkin, the lore master of Manda-LORE, and today I'm going to be digging through the archives to elaborate on the devastated world of Honoghr. Honoghr is the fourth planet out of 7 within the Honoghr system, located in the Kessel sector of the Outer Rim territories. With an equatorial diameter of 10,440 kilometers, the planet supported a breathable Type 1 atmosphere, temperate climate, and standard gravity. A day on Honoghr lasts about 23 standard hours, while a year lasts just 208 standard days. Primary terrain features on Honoghr once consisted of lush rainforests covering vast expanses of the planet, but since the planet's devastation, it has become a desert world where nothing grows. The Noghri are the native species of Honoghr, and at one point in the planet's history numbered in the billions. However, now only number around 10 million. Only one major city, Nesteo, graced Honoghr's surface, with hundreds of smaller villages scattered about a region known as the Clean Lands, a fraction of the planet's surface that could still support life to a degree. Due to the planet's ecology being ruined later in its history, Honoghr is unable to sustain itself, making her major imports water, foodstuffs, technology, and medicine, while only being able to export vicious Noghri assassins. Earliest accounts of Honoghr's history began 30,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, when it was once absorbed by the Rakatan Infinite Empire. Ancient Noghri worshipped the Rakatans as gods, holding their massive temples they built on their world sacred long after the Infinite Empire's collapse. Due to limited contact with the rest of the galaxy and strict warrior traditions held in the highest reverence, Noghri society remained primitive for much of their history. Around 2000 to 1000 BBY, Honoghr became a training ground for the Sith during the New Sith Wars, where the Sith Academy of Honoghr trained warriors and marauders alike, more than likely pitting trainees against the fearsome Noghri during exercises. After the war, Honoghr was once again left to its own devices, staying pretty much off the galactic radar in terms of economic and strategic importance. Tragedy struck Honoghr in 20 BBY when, during the tail end of the Clone Wars, a battle was fought orbiting the lush green world. 2 Republic Acclamator II class assault ships intercepted the CIS Lucrehulk class core ship Gehenna, carrying a volatile cargo, an experimental defoliant known as Trahexafine 1138, to be used as a bioweapon against the Republic. Republic naval forces were victorious, however the smoldering wreckage of Gehenna found its way to Honoghr's surface, spilling Trahexafine into the planet's soil and rivers. A Republic scouting party landed to investigate the crash site and soon located the Scientific Instrument Package, or SIP, for the Trahexafine in an ancient Rakatan temple, but were told to refrain from attempting to retrieve it before reinforcements arrived. Jedi General Aayla Secura was assigned to this mission. Alongside her, Clone Commander CC-5052, nicknamed Bly, and a squad of clone troopers, all wearing experimental Phase 2 armor. Closing in on the temple, the group came under attack by Noghri warriors, protecting their sacred structure, and as clone troopers began getting picked off, Quinlan Vos unexpectedly came to the rescue. At this point in the war, Quinlan Vos was working with the CIS as a pawn of Count Dooku, striving to become one of his dark acolytes. This, however, was supposedly a cover, and his true loyalties still lay with the Republic. Quinlan convinced Aayla to let him help her, and that afterward he'd let her retrieve the SIP. And having faith in her former master's word, Aayla agreed. After fighting their way through the temple and retrieving the SIP, Vos suddenly had a change of heart, claiming that he needed the SIP more than her to gain Dooku's trust. And when Aayla refused, a fierce duel broke out between the former master and apprentice. Vos would have nearly killed Aayla if it wasn't for Bly regaining his consciousness and shooting him in the arm before he could land the killing blow. Aayla allowed her fallen Jedi of a former master escape with his life, while she escaped with the SIP. Unfortunately for Honoghr and the Noghri, the Republic was more interested in analyzing the SIP and preventing future biological attacks than helping the Noghri stop the spread of contamination to their world. So vicious was the trihexaphine that it only took mere months for Honoghur's ecology to become irreversibly damaged, and as jungles and farmland began to die and wither, the Noghri themselves began to starve to death, decimating their population. With the Clone Wars coming to an end a year later, the newly anointed Sith Lord Darth Vader headed an expedition to Honoghr. When he arrived, he found nothing but slaughter as the Noghri attacked his stormtrooper guard. Rather than being angry with his troops, he was more impressed with the prowess of the Noghri than anything, and seeing Vader's prowess in return as he blocked their attacks, the Noghri gained a great respect, even a reverence for the Dark Lord. Feeling generous, Vader offered to aid the Noghri in reclaiming their dying world. In return, however, the Noghri swore fealty to Vader and the Empire, pledging their services as assassins, becoming the infamous Noghri Death Commandos. To ensure the Noghri's continuing service and obedience over the next few decades, the Empire deliberately slowed the efforts to make Honoghr habitable once more by planting comb grass, which further tainted the soil. Vader's secret apprentice, Galen Marek, aka Star Killer, experienced part of his training on Honoghr, as waves of Noghri Death Commandos were sent at the boy to hone his skills. Weeks before the Battle of Yavin, a raid conducted by the Zon Consortium criminal organization took place on Honoghr, where Uri Fen and Consortium forces faced off against Imperials and Noghri alike, killing Fleet Commander Manlith. After Vader's death at the Battle of Endor, 4 years after the Battle of Yavin, command of active Noghri Death Commando squads in the galaxy was transferred under Grand Admiral Thrawn after he assumed control of the Imperial remnant in 9 ABY. Choosing one Noghri Death Commando, Rook, as his personal bodyguard, Thrawn soon assigned the Death Commando's various high-value targets within the New Republic, including none other than a very pregnant Leia Organa Solo. After a failed assassination attempt on Organa Solo's life on Kashyyyk, Leia was smuggled onto Honoghr by a Noghri Death Commando she befriended, Kabarak of the Clan Kibbar, who recognized her as the daughter of the Savior, the Manda-LORE. The Lady Vader, as she was called by the Noghri, saw firsthand the desolation of Honoghr, and discovered that the Imperial decontamination droids were actually harming Honoghr, keeping the planet in perpetual ruin to draw out the enslavement of the Noghri indefinitely. Leia sat through grueling debates and negotiations with the ruling Noghri clan leaders before she finally convinced them of the Empire's treachery, sparking the Noghri Revolution, where Honoghr soon defected to the New Republic. At the Battle of Bilbringi, as New Republic forces engaged Grand Admiral Thrawn's fleet over the orbital shipyards, Rook suddenly turned on Thrawn and murdered him in cold blood, after learning of the Empire's deceit to his planet and his people days earlier. In a gesture of gratitude to the Noghri, the New Republic led cleanup efforts to finally decontaminate Honoghr in hopes to make it once again habitable. In the meantime, relocating the Noghri to the former Imperial storehouse world of Wayland. This ends my findings on Honoghr. If you have any suggestions for future transmissions, don't be afraid to drop a comment. In the meantime, keep your comm channels open for future transmissions, and don't forget to subscribe. Tad Larkin, out.